Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. You've probably heard of the famous Alcatraz prison in the US. Right, stories surrounding this prison are often associated with horror and fear, because Alcatraz is known as one of the strictest prisons in the world. However, few people know that this is one of the most favorite prisons of prisoners. Literally, if you feel skeptical, continue watching this video to discover the real reason why Alcatraz is different from other scary prisons you've heard of. Alcatraz Island, a very special island of the United States, is only about 2 kilometers from San Francisco and has an area of about 9 hectares. With a terrain similar to a fortress, this island was once used to hide not prisoners, but cannons and military ammunition. Since 1861, the army began using Alcatraz to detain prisoners of war during the Civil War. By 1906, this island became a place to detain civilian prisoners. Finally, in 1933, the U.S. Department of Justice bought this island and turned it into Alcatraz Federal Prison, reserved for the most recalcitrant prisoners. Known as the last prison for the worst, Alcatraz is known as one of the harshest prisons on the planet. However, interestingly, Alcatraz was once considered the dream of many prisoners, becoming the most favorite prison in America. The secret is this prison offers its inmates far more privileges than other places of detention. Every inmate at Alcatraz was guaranteed 4 basic rights: clothing, food, shelter, and medical care, including dental and mental care. In addition, prisoners with good behavior enjoyed many interesting privileges, such as visiting the library, playing softball or baseball, attending church, listening to the radio, watching movies in the auditorium, and even playing chess, checkers, or dominoes. However, what made American prisoners always yearn to return to Alcatraz was the excellent culinary menu here. Since 1946, breakfast at Alcatraz has included fruit, cereal, milk, bread, and coffee. Lunch is more lavish with soup, beef, pork with vegetables, bread and tea, and boiled corn and apple pie. Dinner is no less attractive with meat, soup, vegetables, and bread, along with fruit, cakes, or fruit jelly for dessert. Who would believe this is a prison by hearing the menu? It looks more like a fancy restaurant than a place of detention. With its location on an island, life in Alcatraz is no different from a trip. Who wouldn't find it interesting? The original idea of improving the lives of prisoners at Alcatraz came from the first warden, James Alcatraz Johnson. He believed that poor quality food could lead to irritability and riots among the prisoners. So he decided to improve the quality of meals. And the most special thing about this famous prison was the hot water tap. This was a privilege that no other prison in America at that time could offer, causing many prisoners from other places to even request to be transferred to Alcatraz just to enjoy this comfort. Strangely enough, under that humane appearance, Johnson actually applied a smart tactic. The cold seawater surrounded Alcatraz all year round, and getting used to the warm water would reduce the prisoners' ideas of escape. Even if they tried to escape, they would quickly freeze to death in the bitter cold. In addition to allowing prisoners to eat well and take hot showers, Johnson also created many other privileges. He realized that many people were in prison because they lacked the skills to do honest work. So he proposed to the Justice Department to create correspondence courses offered by the University of California. Inmates could choose from 19 different courses, opening up opportunities for them to change their lives. All of this made Alcatraz unlike any other prison, where humanity and smart strategy blended together to create a special confinement environment. About 100 children grew up on Alcatraz, some of whom were even born on the island. They had a special childhood, with afternoons spent playing baseball, flying kites, and rollerblading on this famous and infamous island. There was an interesting rule for them: when the alarm sounded, everyone had to run home immediately and absolutely no toy guns were allowed. However, these children were not lonely. They often interacted with the prisoners, waving or talking to them when they saw them picking up trash or fixing pipes in the guards' quarters. One girl said that she had some notorious criminals fix her shoes, and even signed them. Even more special, one of the famous figures at Alcatraz formed a band for the prisoners, creating a lively atmosphere amidst the prison's tense atmosphere. Life at Alcatraz is more than just a place of confinement, it is part of a unique story where children can find joy and connection between two worlds, the world of freedom and the world of criminals. Al Capone, the most notorious gangster of all time, had a unique journey when he was sent to Alcatraz. Notably, he was not imprisoned here because he could not reform, but because he used money to manipulate the entire prison system in Atlanta. During his more than 4 years in Alcatraz, Capone was allowed by the warden to form a small band of 12 people. Called the Rock Islanders, they practiced weekly at the barbershop and occasionally held concerts on Sunday afternoons. Capone, not only famous for his criminal activities, was also a musician with a passion for music. He once wrote a handwritten letter to his son, boasting that he knew how to play the guitar and compose music. One of his love songs, Madonna MIA, was released in 2009. Al Capone was released from prison in November 1939 and lived in Miami until his death in 1947. In particular, one of his letters to his son was later auctioned for $62.500 in 2016. A testament to his influence and legacy. Whether in the criminal world or in culture, Capone's life at Alcatraz is not only a story of crime, but also a chapter in the life of a talented and mysterious man. Alcatraz is famous not only for its harshness but also for being the most secure prison in the United States. Most prisoners want to obediently serve their sentences for a chance to return to freedom. However, there was a special event that happened when 3 prisoners successfully escaped. And their story became the inspiration for the famous movie, Escape from Alcatraz. Escaping from the prison was one thing, but swimming to land was the real challenge. In the weeks before, these escapees cleverly stole 50 raincoats and an inflatable raft. On the evening of June 11, 1962, they escaped through a vent in the roof and left Alcatraz. This adventurous journey was not only a fight against imprisonment but also demonstrated the resilient will of those who yearned for freedom. This escape not only stunned the whole of America, but also became legendary, proving that even in the harshest places, hope and dreams of freedom always exist. No one knows if the 3 escaped prisoners survived the swim to shore. And to this day, their true fate remains a mystery. The cold waters around Alcatraz made swimming extremely difficult, turning the story into a fascinating legend. Alcatraz eventually fell into disrepair and saltwater erosion. The high cost of maintaining it led Attorney General Robert Kennedy to close the prison in March 1963. However, Alcatraz was later reopened as a public museum, becoming a major tourist attraction in San Francisco, attracting about 1.5 million visitors each year. Admission costs range from $25 to $41, depending on age. Although no longer a prison, Alcatraz still holds a special appeal. The island has inspired hundreds of films, books, songs, and television shows, even beyond the United States. Hopefully through this video, you have discovered more interesting details about Alcatraz, a prison famous not only for its tragic stories but also for its rich cultural heritage. Thank you for watching today's video on the Thong Tinder Day channel. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to support the team. Goodbye and see you again.